Panku, creator of the cosmos. Chinese myths. There was a beginning. There was a beginning of something that was before that beginning. There was a beginning of something that was even before the beginning of what was before the beginning. Perennial existence. There existed in embryonic form complex energy which had not yet developed into any visible shape of root, seed, or element. But even then, in that wide and unperceptible position, the willingness to leap into the form of life was obvious. The sky was characterized by harmony, although it had not yet lowered down. Earth loved the enlivening fluid, but had not yet risen. There was a vacuum, quiet, inhospitable, steamy, unlike anything. The enlivening fluid flowed around aimlessly. When the stage of leaping into the form of life arrived, there appeared the man of chaos, the forefather of heaven, earth, everything that exists, moves, and lives, the descendant of the basic two powers of nature, brightness, activity, and warmth, yang and darkness, passivity and coldness, yin. He called himself Panku. Pan means eggshell. Ku, as much as certain, solid. Panku was born after many millions of years of existence in a large stone egg. He shattered it sorely to get out of the darkness and bring order to the chaos. He had, according to the oldest people, the stature of a dwarf. On his head were two buffalo horns. He was clad in a bearskin or only in an apron of leaves. In one hand he had a hammer, and in the other a chisel, the only tools he used during all his gigantic and laborious work. He worked stubbornly for 18,000 years. His short but strong hands first punched holes through which the sun, moon, and stars became visible. Then gradually, with small, precise, and carefully crafted strokes, he chipped away at this steamy and inhospitable mass of chaos, the earth and the entire surrounding world. As he worked, the heavens separated and lifted higher and higher, and the earth grew wider and thicker. At the same time, Panku himself was growing, each day by 6 feet. Finally, when the sky was very high, the ground very thick, and Panku could grow no further, he died. But even after death, he was to serve his creation. His head, heart, lungs, and liver were transformed into mountains, his breath into winds and clouds, his voice into thunder, his arms and legs became the four sides of the world, his veins and blood turned into rivers, his sinews into the undulating surface of the earth, his body into the soil, and his chin into the constellations of the stellar. From his skin and hair were created grasses and trees, teeth, bones, and marrow transformed into rocks, metals, and precious stones. From his sweat were born rains, and from the insects that followed him, humans. In a world, after 18,000 years of persistent work, an orderly cosmos arose from obscure chaos. The death of Panku was followed by 3 dynasties, known as the rulers of heaven, earth, and humans, and each of the rulers of these dynasties was to reign for 18,000 years and advance the work of Panku. In the first of these, the dynasty of the rulers of heaven, there were 12 brothers, monstrous, terrifying creatures with the appearance of snakes. In the second, 11 earthly rulers who made a division of time into day and night and seasons. These were monsters built from different parts of dragons, horses, snakes, and humans, and their reign brought such discoveries as the ability to eat, drink, and sleep. The third dynasty consisted of 9 earthly rulers, with the faces of humans and the bodies of dragons. They were the ones who divided the world into 9 parts, and each was an independent ruler of his own part. It was only after these 3 dynastic periods that there were 10 eras of cultural development, in which, among other things, Zhu Chao taught people to live in the trees and in caves so they could protect themselves from attacks by wild animals. Sui Zeng, the creator of fire, through his invention of fire, helped people get warm. Then came further inventions of cooking food and other arts of life altogether, with dancing, which, while not an entertainment, was a ritual rite.